it's Kara and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to tell you guys how my husband and I spent only $5,000 total on our wedding and how you can do the same thing. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe down below. I make videos on life, marriage, faith, saving money, and so much more. So if that sounds like something that you are interested in, make sure that you're subscribed and make sure that you like this video. Before I get started, as a little backstory, my husband and I got married 7 months ago. I was 19 and I had just finished my freshman year of college, and my husband was 20 and he was working full time. But as you can imagine, we did not have a ton of money to spend on a wedding. We had not been saving for years. That was okay with us though, because we really wanted to focus on building our marriage, saving for the future, and we didn't want to spend a lot of money on our wedding. We recognized that our wedding was going to be one day of our entire lives, and that really the best parts of our marriage were going to be in the future, and we wanted to prepare for that. All right, let's get started. First things first, one of the biggest things that is going to suck up your entire wedding budget is the wedding venue. And so one way that you can kind of sneak past those crazy wedding venue expenses is to look for a friend or a family member's property or a church as your wedding venue. Wedding venues now cost upwards of $10,000 to $15,000, which is crazy, and oftentimes they come with a load of rules, such as how many people you can invite and different foods that you have to do, different services that they require that they would provide for you, all these different things. But if you can find a beautiful church property, a friend's barn, a friend's property, a farm, whatever it is, if you can find something like that, that is going to save so much money. My husband and I used a friend of a friend's barn as our wedding venue. It was absolutely perfect. It was just a 2-wall barn, so it was open on one side, and it worked great. They ended up actually gifting us this barn for free. Even though we were willing to pay them something, they just wanted to bless us with the use of their barn, so we gave them a little gift for that. But it was such a wonderful gift and an amazing way to dramatically cut our expenses in our wedding. Another advantage to using a barn, a park, something other than a traditional wedding venue is that you can move up your wedding date much sooner. Right now, wedding venues are looking at 1 year to 2 years out, and that is just such a long time to be engaged. I don't know about you, but I did not want an engagement that long. If that was going to be how long our engagement was, we would have just pushed our engagement to be later down the road as well. But we wanted to get married sooner, and that was how we were able to. If we had gone with a traditional wedding venue, we would not have been able to get married within 4 months. My second piece of advice as to how you can save money as you're planning your wedding is to skip the save the date altogether, or to email it to the people that you're inviting instead. It was already so time consuming to plan out our invitations, order them all, get everybody's addresses, all the stamps, send them all out, get everything in the mail, write down everyone's addresses. It was kind of a mess just for the invitations. We did not do save the dates, and even just the invitations were a lot of work. But if you can email the save the dates, not do save the dates, or also even just email the invitations, that will save so much money and time. My third piece of advice is to have yourself or a friend or family member do your hair and makeup, and also your bridesmaid's hair and makeup. So for myself, I did my own makeup for my wedding because the person that was going to do my makeup canceled at the last minute. And then I had kind of a friend do my hair, and it was wonderful. I also asked that my bridesmaids would do their own hair and makeup, and honestly, they did so amazing. Their hair looked so beautiful. I also would say that this is a great time to tap into your friends and family members and some of the connections that they might have. So the person that was originally going to do my makeup was actually my really good friend's older sister, who was a professional makeup artist, and she was going to give me a really good deal on my makeup. That didn't end up working out because she ended up having a conflict. But if you can tap into some of those resources, that would be great. Another thing was that at my school, I talked to the other people on campus that were married, and a lot of them had friends on campus who were trying to become hairstylists or who were wanting to do nails, whatever it was. If they were into that kind of thing, those were the people that they used. And so honestly, using my connections at church, at my school, at things like that, it was a great way to find those connections, especially with people who already had experience with things like makeup and hair. My fourth piece of advice is to reach out to all of your friends who have gotten married in the last 1 or 2 years. So I reached out to all of my friends who I know were newlyweds, and I asked them who their hairstylists were, who their makeup artists were, where they went for their wedding dress. I asked them for all of the connections, photographer, everything. And that was such a great way to also get connections, because a lot of times their recommendations were of people that they knew personally, and of people where once you get that connection, they want to offer you a deal or they can give you some advice for something. And it was great to tap into just other people that I knew as resources. My fifth piece of advice is to thrift all of your bridesmaids' dresses. So I got all of my bridesmaids' dresses on eBay. I got each of them for $50, and that was the only cost that I asked my bridesmaids to cover. So it ended up being really affordable for all of us. Literally, my bridesmaids only paid $50 total for everything, and they were really happy with that. I was super happy with it too. The bridesmaids dresses that I got on eBay, I got mostly brand new. A few had been worn literally one time, so it didn't really matter that much. And I found that the brand Birdie Gray was on eBay a lot. So most of my dresses were from Birdie Gray, and then I got a few other ones just to kind of change the colors a little bit. For my wedding, I wanted all of my bridesmaids to be in a different shade of sage green. So I ended up getting Birdie Gray's sage green dresses. I got 3 of those. And then for my other bridesmaids, I did 3 different shades so that I could stagger them, and it kind of gave this complete organized look while also having a few different shades of sage green. It was beautiful, and it worked out so well for all of us. I also told my bridesmaids that they could wear whatever shoes they wanted, and each of them just wore shoes that they already owned. So I had one of my bridesmaids that wore cowgirl boots, another one of mine wore some heels, and some others just wore their like sneakers. And honestly, it was so cute. Once again, I really loved kind of having a mismatched thrifted look to my wedding, so I did not mind that. But I would say that I got my shoes on Lulu's for like $20. They're the most comfortable little heels, and that would be a really affordable way to make sure that everybody has the same shoes for an affordable price. My sixth piece of advice is to not go all out with the gifts that you give your bridesmaids and your groomsmen. You don't have to spend a lot of money to give them something that is meaningful and really sweet. I gave each of my bridesmaids a Bible study and also some Bible verse cards, and they all mentioned that it was really a life-giving, thoughtful gift that they ended up actually using and that really helped them to grow in their faith. So find something that works for you, that is thoughtful, and it doesn't have to cost a lot. You can always look for things on Etsy. There's affordable things there that are really cute and personable. Amazon is also a great way, or looking at eBay, thrift stores, whatever. Just find something thoughtful, but you don't have to spend a lot. My seventh piece of advice is to be resourceful with the party favors that you buy, or also just not have party favors. The truth is, everybody says that you can do your wedding however you want, but then they have all these expectations for you. You don't have to listen to those. You can do whatever you want. We didn't have any dancing in our wedding. Instead, we had a worship service, and it was wonderful, even though some people were like, you weren't gonna have a father-daughter dance? We were like, no, we don't want to have one. And so same goes with party favors, same goes with everything else, same goes with having a full dinner with a 3-course meal. You know, you can choose how you want it. What we did for our party favors is our friend is a honey farmer, and so he actually gave us a great deal on honey, and so we made little tiny jars of honey. I'll go get one and show you. Okay, so these were our party favors. These little jars we got on Amazon for like $20. I think we got 2 batches of them, and it was enough for over 200 people, so that was quite a good deal. And then on top we put a little sticker that says Dave and Kara, June 4th, 2022, which is the day that we got married. We just got these custom stickers on Etsy. And then this little string was like a few dollars on Amazon. And we had a honey jar making party with our families right before the wedding to make all these little jars. We made hundreds of them, but it ended up being very affordable. Not everyone can get honey at a great deal and spend very little on party favors, but I would say look for those connections, look for those things that your friends are great at, look for a way that you can get a deal on something, tap into resources around you. Do you know somebody that's great at making something? Do you know somebody that sells things on Etsy? What can you do to make things personable and cute but not very expensive? My 8th piece of advice is to look for things on Amazon. We saved a lot of money by just shopping for things on Amazon, such as buying the jars. We also just bought little decorations and other little things on Amazon, and they were a fraction of the price that they normally would be if we went to somewhere that was specifically selling things for a wedding. Whenever they attach the word wedding to anything, it immediately jumps in price, and they can just charge so much money because it's a wedding favor or a wedding decoration or something. But if you just look on Amazon for little decorations and stuff, it can be such a classy, beautiful way to decorate your wedding or to look for things that you want to have at your wedding that doesn't cost a lot of money. My 9th piece of advice is to consider not serving dinner at your wedding, or to choose an option like a potluck, burgers, pizza, barbecue, something that wouldn't be as expensive as catering or a 3-course meal. I know that that can be non-traditional and that not everybody enjoys that. It might not seem as elegant, but I've been to so many weddings where we had Domino's pizza or we just had a barbecue going and Dad was grilling burgers, and honestly, those are some of my fondest memories. For our wedding, we were super spoiled, and our friends own a food court, so we had delicious catered food. But I know that that isn't an option for everybody, and so if you can choose something that's a little bit more affordable, like burgers or pizza or whatever kind of food you enjoy, go for it. Who says you can't? My last piece of advice for this video is to skip the alcohol. There are so many reasons that you don't need alcohol at your wedding. One of the main reasons is because it is so expensive. Like I said, we were 19 and 20 years old when we got married, so it didn't really make sense for us to serve alcohol because we ourselves were underage. But we also just decided that even if we got married a few years down the road, we didn't want to have alcohol at our wedding because we thought it wasn't even that fun, it wasn't even that exciting, and it definitely wasn't worth the money. So those are 10 of my tips for how you can save money on your wedding. I have so many more ideas, so if you want to see a part 2 to this video, make sure to comment down below. Comment down below also if you want to see more wedding videos. I love talking about our wedding, especially because it was only 7 months ago, so it's still kind of fresh in my mind. If that is something that you are interested in, please make sure to let me know, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye guys!